With the Chief Minister, and last week you had your moment in the sun at the Select Committee at the Sefton business, and you and your ministers. I mean, in fact, there was talk of if it's done wrong, people will fall on their swords.
Well, Mr. Shimon made that comment. That's for him to decide. All the advice I've had, all the information I've had from the various departments that have been involved in it, and the advice given to myself, is that we have worked absolutely within the vires of the respective departments, and that the decision which was made, which obviously is a political decision ultimately, and a finely balanced decision, that we believe it was done in good faith for the right reasons and will produce the right outcome.
I mean, I'm interested about people falling on swords a bit. I mean, there's one thing just giving up your job, being a minister. I mean, you've only got so many people you can pick. You've got other people also saying if things are wrong in different departments, they'll also have to start falling on swords. I mean, what do you do?
We have to be careful about it. This is a very emotive piece of nonsense, really, which comes up time and time again. Sack the minister, fall on your sword. We don't want these amateur dramatics. We have got to find solutions to some very, very challenging issues facing the Isle of Man. We need some mature discussion about these things. Sacking ministers falling on swords aren't necessarily going to resolve those problems. We need some hard-headed thinking about solutions and long-term solutions to some very, very tricky issues. If a minister has failed badly in that area,
and knowingly, isn't it? This is the key
knowingly,
word.
yes. And you know, the conspiracy theorists that we have outside see plots in everything that goes on. That's not the case at all. Ministers in the main take decisions, develop strategies with the very best of intentions of helping the Isle of Man. But you have to be realistic. In life, things do go wrong occasionally. I
mean, this is politics, I suppose. I mean, you'd be damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if you let the Sefton go, we'd be sitting here having a discussion, and probably other people, maybe the same people, would be at you as well.
The very same people would be raising questions and saying, well, why didn't we fight to save 300 jobs? You know, we are in absolutely no-win situation, and it's cynical politics, game playing really, that has got us to this situation. We are going through a very, very challenging period economically. We have to do all we possibly can to help all companies on the Isle of Man to stay afloat, to thrive, and create the employment we need for our people. We have to use sometimes unorthodox methods to achieve that. But the ultimate aim is to maintain growth in the economy and maintain low unemployment as long as we possibly can. That has to be the right aim of any government. And for politicians to be playing politics with the future employment prospects of many of our people, frankly, is pretty appalling.
I think, though, there's always this thing that you've done this now for a hotel group. What happens if an airline gets into problems, or you name it? Other private sector business, do they knock on your door and say, give us the same support?
We will look at every case that is brought before us. This is a large company, though. It employs around about 300 people. If this company had gone, it would have brought down a number of the smaller suppliers, the subcontractors, for example, that work for the building company. It would have rippled out far beyond just the hotel itself.
But the question you had to answer the other day was they were saying effectively they weren't in that much trouble. I mean, you had to deal with that.
Yes, well, that is a puzzling response from the Sefton Group, because that is not what they told us in the meetings that we've had. It was made very clear to us, and the exact words were we're in last chance saloon. And if the Isle of Man's element of the restructuring package did not materialise, then the rest of the package would have fallen. That was made very clear to us, and then we would have had to live with the consequences.
I assume you and Mr. Miles Walker have discussed this behind private doors, you know.
We've not really taken it any further. You know, what is said. We have to move on from this. We've made our decision. The assistance has been made available to the company. The company is now utilising it. We move on. Hopefully we've stabilised the company. We've rescued the jobs, certainly for the period ahead. We now need to move on. You know, let's put this point scoring behind us and be grown up about doing our best to develop the economy.